Good afternoon, MIU. My name is Tom Wolverton. I'm assistant professor in the general education department, teaching philosophy, global leadership, studies in religion, marriage and home, and introduction to sociology. Today, I want to talk to you about setting goals in your life. And so we'll get started right away and talk about how will you accomplish that which you want to see. In my philosophy class, often we ask, what is the meaning of life? Many people will answer, happiness, but they have no goal on how to achieve happiness. And I always say happiness is an elusive goal. If you achieve real goals, then you may be happy. But most of us have dreams, and we never achieve them, and we wind up not happy. So what can you do about it? Now is the time to begin. So I'll start and talk about some things related to goals. First thing is your goals. You may set goals, you may write goals, but if you spend all your time on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or something like that, or just surfing the web, you're not going to achieve your goals. You've got to manage your time. You've got to not spend all your time playing PC games and things like that. So the internet can swallow your goals and trap you in a pit that you can't get out of. And then there's another truth I want to talk about. Dreams don't come true. Now, you can listen to all kinds of motivational speakers online that will tell you you've got to go for your dreams. You've got to have big dreams. The problem with dreams is they don't come true. A dream is something you have while you're sleeping, and it's hard to put together. Then we have these daydreams, and we have these ideas of the big things we're going to accomplish in life. But if we don't write them down and make them concrete goals, we'll never achieve them. And so a dream doesn't become true, but goals are achievable. And so I want to go over today some things you need to consider when setting goals, and things you need to look for when setting goals in your life. And so what are your goals? What do you want to do when you grow up? I know when you were 8 years old, people used to ask you that a lot. When you were 10, your grandmother would say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you would give some answer. An astronaut or a dancer or a singer or something like that. But what do you really want to be now? You're still growing up. You're almost there. In just a year or two, maybe sooner, you're going to have to start adulting. What are you going to do? And so maybe you have a goal to be a millionaire by the time you're 30 years old, or to start your own business and be an entrepreneur. Maybe you want to run for parliament, be the prime minister someday, or maybe you just hope to get a job. What are your goals? No matter whether you want to be a millionaire or just get a job, if you don't have a goal, you're not going to get there. Or you're going to get some job, but you're not going to enjoy it. And so to achieve your goal, you must have a plan. You've got to write it down, break it down into little steps. Sometimes we set a goal for ourselves, and that goal is somewhere way off in our future. And it's so far away, it's like a mountain that you can see in the morning, but not near the city like this, but far out in the distance. And if you start walking there, it seems like it never even gets closer. And so you start towards that goal, and it's so difficult that you give up. But we can overcome that as well. And so when you make a goal, the first thing you have to do is write it down. Maybe the big thing, I'm a millionaire by 30, or I want to start my own business by the time I'm 25. What is your goal? Write that down. And then set a deadline. When do you want to achieve it? Not an impossible deadline. Consider how long is it going to take to get there. Look at other people. How long did they take to get there that have achieved something similar? Occasionally, somebody achieves something great at a very young age, but it's not very often. Maybe you're that great one, but most of us are just regular. But it's not that difficult. Just a little bit of effort can make us better than average. So set a deadline for your goal. And then you've got to work on your mindset. Your attitude is everything. If you feel like when you set the goal, I can't do it, I'll never do it, you're not going to do it. It's never going to happen. If you set a goal and say, this is difficult, this is almost impossible, but I can do it. You can do it. It may take a long time, but you can do it. So you've got to have a good attitude. If you feel like the whole world is against you, then you'll feel like you don't have a chance. If you feel like it doesn't matter if the world is against you, you can do it. Develop your skill set. Whatever it is that you're working on, whatever your goal is, it's going to require certain skills. Always be improving. Watch TED Talks, read books, find experts in that field, and if possible, buy them a cup of coffee and ask them questions. And so work on your skills to be the kind of person that can achieve the goal that you want to do. And then the next thing you have to do is start. Sometimes we set this grand goal and it's scary. It's like, oh, if I do this, I'm going to fall. Maybe, but if you never take the first step, you're never going anywhere. You can't hit the target if you don't even pick up the gun. And so you've got to take the first step. You've got to get started towards achieving your goal. And then continue it to completion. Again, that goal is way out in the distance and it can seem impossible. But what you want to do is set many goals in there. A goal for the week. To achieve your goal might take 10 years. But what are you going to achieve this week or today? Set small goals and achieve those, and then continue. And when you do achieve those, reward yourself. Don't go crazy. Don't go buy a Land Cruiser because you got a job, but you had to go to the Lombard to buy the Land Cruiser. Small rewards. Get a piece of cake, something like that, or go for a hike. And so you can do those things. And so to summarize, write down your goals, set a deadline, work on your mindset, develop your skill set, take the first step, continue to completion, and reward yourself. Achieving your goals requires focus, attitude, and a lifetime of learning. You're never too smart. We're really never smart enough. The world is changing so fast. As soon as you think you know you've got it figured out, somebody came up with something new, and what you know is obsolete. So we've always got to stay on top. Don't be the one that's too old to learn the new technology. So get after it. And so that's really focused on career goals. But what about life goals? Not related to your career. How many of you want to be married, have children, and a happy family? Most everybody I talk to in university, that's someday I'm going to have that, the husband or the wife and a couple of kids, and my kids are going to be happy and they're going to be well educated and we're all going to do so wonderful. If you get so focused on your career goals that you neglect your family, you won't keep your family. You'll lose your family in the process of getting the money, if money is your goal. And so you've got to be intentional every day about family time. You've got to guard your family time. Find a way to make time to be with your spouse and with your children every day. Now, if you've got to travel occasionally for work, I understand. Call them then. You've got to be connected and stay connected with your family in order to keep it. And many people want that as much as they want money, as much as they want career goals. They want that family to be happy, the family to be supportive. You've got to be intentional about that as well. Don't win at a career and then lose at love. Too many people do that. They get so focused on providing for their family that they lose the family they're providing for. And so how do you do that? How do you manage your time, first of all? One of the things I did when I had a very stressful job where I had to work 10 to 12, 14 hours every day, I didn't go to work at 9 o'clock in the morning and work till 9 o'clock at night. I went to work at 5 in the morning and I finished at 5 in the evening. So I had my evening for my family. Kids are going to bed early anyway, so I could go to bed at 9 o'clock at night and get up early. So that was my technique for protecting my family time. We all have to have that. And so you've got to manage yourself to achieve your goals. This comes from John Maxwell's Leadership 360 book. If you take the Global Leadership class, you've heard this before. First thing you have to manage is your emotions. Some of us are pretty emotional. When we get angry, everybody knows it. Things are breaking, things are flying. It's not good. You've got to learn to control that. Be emotional, but manage it. Stay under control at all times. If you get sad and you cry, crying is not the end of the world. It's okay to cry. And if somebody doesn't like you crying or think you're weak, that's their problem. But you can manage your emotions. You can manage your behavior related to your emotions. Manage your time. Schedule every hour to achieve your goal. Schedule time for your family to achieve your goal. You have to do these things. Manage your priorities. What's most important in your life? There's a story also from this Leadership 360 book about a military general that every day, every morning, first thing he would do when he would get to his office, he'd get out a small piece of paper about the size of a cell phone. And on the front of that paper, he would write 5 challenges he was going to face that day. 5 things he didn't want to do, but he had to do them. He'd write those down. And then he'd turn the card over, and it's 5 opportunities he had that day. And it prepared his mind to deal with the things he had to do that day. But it also allowed him to focus on what's most important today. And one of the things I always say is make at least one of those things. If your kids have a performance, if they're doing a play at school, if they're doing a piano recital, you put that on there, and no amount of money can keep you away from it. And you focus there, and then when you tell a client, hey, I know we need to meet, but I've got my children are doing this, I can meet right after that. Most anybody you want to do business with is going to say, absolutely, you be with your family, we can meet after. So prioritize the things in your life. Manage your energy. We all have a limited amount of energy, and only so many Americanos can you drink in a day. Or now that you can find Monster energy drink. People die from drinking too many of those things. But you've got to manage your sleep. You've got to find those things in your life that drain your energy and try to delegate those out when you have to do them. Be prepared. Those things that give you energy, find ways to do those. For me, it's playing sports, going for a hike, getting out and doing something physical gives me energy. And if I don't do that, if I get too busy to do that, then I don't have the energy to do the things I'm too busy doing. And so you've got to make time to refill your energy tank. Manage your thinking. Often, I describe thinking as like clothes in a washing machine. If you've ever sat in front of the glass door of a washing machine and just watch it, and let's say you've got a red sock in the washing machine with a bunch of dark clothes. Every now and then you see the red sock pass by. And then when you take everything out of the washer, where's the red sock? Well, it's stuck in the sleeve of your blue shirt or somewhere else. Our thoughts are like that. They're all just tangled up and swirling. Write them down. Make a list. Journal. Type notes. Talk to somebody. Get your thoughts out, and you have to put them in line. They have to get in order, and then you can manage them. If you find yourself worrying, write it down. What's really going to happen? What are the probabilities this thing I'm worrying about is going to happen? Because worry doesn't accomplish anything. So manage your thinking. And then manage your words. Be careful what you say to people. Learn to not use bad words in business, even though everybody around you is. When you don't, you sound more intelligent. Learn to not use words like stupid or dumb or idiot. Anything negative like that. Only speak with positive words. Even when you're angry, even when people have done the wrong thing, say that's not acceptable. What do you think you should have done instead when you're the boss? And let people self-correct, and you'll have the best people around you you've ever imagined. People don't function well in times of fear, and our words can cause people to be afraid. So use words that are positive and uplifting, and people will work well with you. And then manage your personal life. We have career, we have personal life. They need to both be managed. Hopefully you get to work someplace that's flexible, that lets you take care of personal things during the day, but don't have too many of those. Don't take advantage of a flexible situation. Make sure you get your work done, make sure your personal life is in order. And if you get those things mixed up and messed up, you won't achieve any of your goals. Your personal life will be a mess, and so will your work life. So make sure you're in control at all times. And so what does a person do? Set goals. Make a plan. Never give up. Failure happens to everyone. Find any billionaire out there you can find, anybody who's really, really rich, and find out how many businesses they started that failed before they got rich. Occasionally somebody gets lucky the first try. But people who get rich take chances, and sometimes those chances fail. Failure happens to everyone. Admit it, accept it, learn from it, move forward. Winners fail, but they don't quit. Never be a quitter. And so you can do it. Never quit.